Larry Drennan, Ferber Protocol H2H. I'm here to show you some stuff regarding the weaponry and the flow of weaponry and how it combines with the flow of empty hands within the Fairbairn method. I'm sticking specifically to the Fairbairn method. We're going to give a little bit of a quick introduction to each one. Not a lesson, just a quick introduction so you know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. Now the first thing we're going to do is talk about the knife, okay? And the knife gets taught in a fashion that you can go across and back, you can come down on angles, right? And of course that can be up top or bottom, and of course it can be moved together. You also have the fact that you can move the knife out and do a quick little whipping action at the end. People call it a snap cut, or I call it like the snake bite, because I use it like snake bite, just snapping that out and cutting the finger, or you know, perhaps getting into the face, causing a reaction. And also you have where the lunge, where you bring the knife straight out, or in some cases prefer over here. Fairbairn always seems to be doing this. Applegate holds underneath, you see him holding his hand like this. So again, basically that's where they stop off, and that's where they use that method. So if we talk about that, and then we talk about baton, now whether it's 36 inches, or this one here is probably about 13 inches, when you grip it with two hands, you go into the Fairbairn stick method. So we talked about the knife, let's put that on the side. Now we're talking about the stick. Stick has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements. Ferber method. Okay? So you come across the body, and here I like to do a little bit of a physics thing. I want to use that as a fulcrum here, this side. I want to push that fulcrum across the body while yanking in on the lever to increase the power of that as it digs into the body and rakes across. So we come across, bang, I just pull it into my hip and I rake across, you know, rush, like that. Then, from there, we come up underneath the chin. Now, underneath the chin, they're talking 1 inch back, and it's a straight ram, bang, up underneath. So you could imagine, for intense purposes, bang across the body, up underneath the chin, concave the body, underneath the chin. I don't talk about combinations with Fairbairn method. I talk about opportunity. Could be an opportunity. So anyway, across the body 1, up beneath the chin 2, butt stroke by other name, comes across the head, and then comes down across here with the tip, raking across. I've even seen this rake down the chest line, but Ferber comes across the center. Obviously these things are not fixed point. Then the last one is 2 hands on, and it comes straight up, either into the throat area or under the nose. 5 movements. Okay, fine. Now the thing that goes with that is that these methods are taught as almost standalone methods. This is the Fairbairn stick method. This is the Fairbairn knife method. But right away with the knife method, we'll notice 2 things. See, if we have a single edged blade and we have a double edged blade, I can put my thumb in the center and make faster movement back and forth than if I do as Fairbairn does, and Applegate, where they rotate the hand over on the cut and over on the cut. So they do this to do both direction cuts. But the interesting thing of this methodology of rolling over is that when I switch over to a single-edged knife, it automatically transfers. It's the exact same training. Nothing has changed. If I get addictive or learn behavior so strong that I'm going center, it doesn't work with a single-edged blade. So there's a commonality there that makes us more available to other opportunities. But here's the bigger thing. When we walk into the world of empty hands, we walk into one technique called edge of hand. This is where we start to see an availability of blending between the empty hand movements and the armed movements, and how they are similar, and to very 90% similar, and therefore self-reinforcing in 1, the amount of time it takes to learn, and 2, the fact that they run the same patterns and are instantly transferable. What do I mean? For example, if I'm going to whack Bob here with edge of hand, I can whack him across the side. I can whack him down on the angle, down on the angle. So across the side. Down on the angle, down on the angle. So that's no different than here, here, here. I can come through, straight through. Do something like that, for example, or chin jab, come straight through. That's no different than coming in straight in. Movements are very similar. Vice versa, if I have a baton, okay, I have that ability to come across, come down an angle, straight in, bang. The methods transfer through. If I do empty hand, I come through, bang, down at an angle, boom, straight in. So what happens is that the movement that I do with the edge of hand, with a single hand grip on a smaller baton or even a larger baton, I can create those same movements with that. The the muscle memory, the learned behavior, the gross motor movement that I'm using to produce those edge of hand shots are the same as I'm using to do the stick. Now, if I come across, okay, again we see a similarity. We see a bleed from one methodology into another methodology, into another methodology, into another methodology. And these shots, these blends, work right through to the concept of different, let's call it situations we arrive in. We learn with a grab. We saw this in the video that we got from the World War II training video that Fairbairn did, where the fellow reaches out, grabs him by the arm, he comes in, does a strike into the radial, then immediately straight up into the carotid artery area, vagus nerve. Okay? So we strike in and strike in. With the stick, we strike in, we strike in. With the blade, we cut, we cut. And this is where that same movement, if I was to cut the hand off and you didn't see what I was doing with it, the same movement develops with the arm, body, and everything that goes along with supporting that. So the movement enhances, even expands the other technique. We now move from Fairbairn with a double hand to a capability of Fairbairn with a single hand. And we also can do the same thing with it, but it wouldn't be a grab in that case, of course, because we've got two hands on the stick. But you understand the flow. If he stuck his hand out, and prior to the grab, I could smash it down, smash it across his neck, in the same fashion as with the empty hand. So what it comes down to is it gives us an opportunity to train the same technique, make it much more variable, and accomplish more with it, as opposed to training a whole bunch of techniques to do all those various things, but training them as separate individual things. So by the mere fact of the way that they flow along the same trajectories and paths, allow me to train those one things and have that expandability, not only just in the individual weapon, but also in the fact of it being expandable into mimicking, such as the time when I went to the edge of hand, with the single-handed baton. So this is very interesting, and it's something that you don't see in other methodologies so much because they're not compact like the Ferber method. Ferber method, all about doing more with less. So whether we're going to come across his body, down underneath the chin, butt stroke him, it doesn't matter. We're going to come across the body, up underneath the chin, down on the crib, bang the thing, right? The butt stroke is not the same. We have to come at a different angle. Big deal. It's not perfection we're talking about here. It's total application ability. Very, very good. Okay, so that's what we're yakking about today, and that's kind of where I want to draw your attention, because I really, really believe in the system being taught as a system, and how it supports itself and expands the capabilities of everything, as opposed to a single technique where I show you the stick and that's it. That's all. You walk away with 5 techniques and you don't know anything else to do with it. All right? Okay, have a great day.